Hello, welcome to day 8 of 21 days of breath work. Today we're going to be focusing on breathing spaces. Over the last 7 days, we've been learning about a lot of different types of breath work that can really minimize anxiety, stress, or even a preventative measure going into complex activities or tough situations. Today we're going to focus more about the prana, or the energy that the breath offers. You see, when we take a deep breath in, or if we just take a breath, we're breathing atmospheric oxygen, right? There's a mixture of the breath. But if we go beyond that, if we go beyond just air, or if we go beyond just oxygen, what's really there? And that's what breath work really is all about. It's about feeling into yourself. Yes, it's about decreasing anxiety and optimizing breath patterns and improving your physical health. Absolutely. These are all the benefits that you get from breath work. But there's also a guidance within it too that we're going to start to tap into. And just take this lightly. Don't think too much into it, right? We're not trying to make you believe or think or feel a certain way. We're just trying to take your mind beyond what's really possible when it comes to the breath. So we have 3 breathing spaces. We have a lower breathing space, which is essentially from the perineum to the navel, so the lower abdomen. We have the middle breathing space, which is like the navel to the sternum or the breastbone, rib cage. Simple is belly, rib cage, and then the third is the thoracic space, right? The chest up into the throat. So when we breathe in certain ways, we maximize or we isolate. So for example, we've been doing a lot of belly breathing, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, the relaxation response. That's a lot to do in the lower breathing space. For those of you who have participated in my healing circles, we incorporate this 3-part breath, all of these breathing spaces, and we breathe up into the chest as well, because we're activating memory, experience, unconscious material. If you are an overly anxious person, you may notice that you consistently breathe in the upper breathing space. This is where we activate our fight or flight response. We're breathing high into the chest, and we're only breathing into the top part of the lungs. So we're breathing in fear, over anxiousness, nervousness, and worry. When we drop down into the lower breathing space, we're activating rest, digest, and a calming element. But when we add the 3 together, we have this opportunity to breathe in a wave, right? We breathe energetically up from the tailbone or the perineum into the throat and out. And we can start to feel full. We can start to feel light. We can start to feel an energy within. And this comes with practice. So if you don't experience this immediately, not to worry, practice with it. Play with the breath on this one. So to get started, I'm actually choosing to sit on the floor today with my legs crossed on a mat, on a cushion. You can find a pillow, or you can sit in your chair. That's completely fine. Just make sure you have everything uncrossed, feet flat on the floor, hands by your side. I often sit with myself raised about 4 inches off the ground to prevent any lower back pain. Over years of doing this, I've learned that if I sit on just a flat surface without elevating myself a little, I start to get pain in my lower back. So I would encourage you to use a pillow or a yoga mat. You can roll up a yoga mat. So we're going to start by breathing into the first breathing space, the lower breathing space. I wrote belly in the description to help kind of you understand the essential spot, but really it's the lower belly. So if you put your hands on that place, on that region, lower belly, abdomen, and just begin breathing from that space. You should feel your hands move front to back as you're expanding and deflating that belly. I often coordinate this with the ah sound. Another reminder to check in with posture, keeping your shoulders rounded back, your heart open, your chin slightly tucked under. It's important to have a really straight back in all of these exercises, all of these breathwork practices. So now from that lower space, we're going to move up into the middle breathing space, which is here, right? One thing that I practice is I take my hands and I put them on the sides, literally, sometimes it's hard to do, on the sides of my body, not in the big front, not down here, not up here, here, right? Like kind of on the rib cage. So when you breathe into the belly first, so we're moving from bottom up. So you breathe in through the belly and then up into the middle space. You should feel these hands expand out a little bit. And that's how you know you're doing it right. So exhaling fully, breathe in through the belly, up through the ribs. See how my hands moved? This is going to take some practice, friends. It helps to use the hands because you can feel if you're actually expanding that, you're going to feel your body actually expand out. So the belly seems to expand front to back. The middle breathing space expands side to side. And then when we bring it up into the chest, it's a kind of top to bottom, front to back, and side to side. You'll feel this in your upper back, in your chest, and even in your shoulders. You'll often hear me say that your resting pattern of breath should not be, you should not see or feel your shoulders rise. This breath is an exception because we're actually simulating a specific type of breath. So this is not a resting breath pattern. The resting breath pattern is the belly breathing. So this is a full, what we call a full yogic breath, breathing in through the belly, up through the heart, up through the chest, and then let go. So beginning in the lower, moving into the middle, up into the chest, you should feel this expansion and deflation as your body breathes in and breathes out. Breathing out, breathing into the lower, middle, upper. Let go. 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 Now we're going to put it all together into a flow. You're breathing from the bottom up and then relaxing the exhale. Breathing from the bottom up and relaxing the exhale. So when you take your first breath in, you're breathing kind of up through the perineum or the tailbone. You can also use Mother Earth if you like. Breathing that energy up from the bottom through the body and out through the top and around. So once you get the grace of the flow, start to recognize that there's something more there than just air. So for the next 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, we're just going to breathe this flow. Now this is probably going to create questions, curiosities. Am I doing this right? Please send me questions. Ask Ask what you don't know or share what you've learned about yourself. You can type them in the comments below. Send me an email, Erin@abreathofwellness.com. Find me on social media. Reach out, guys. I want to help you. I want to support you. I want you to feel your breath. I want you to feel what's possible, because it will change your life. I promise you. So exhaling fully, we're going to breathe this full yogic prana breath where we're starting to feel the flow up through the lower, middle, upper, and then relax. Lower, middle, upper, and relax. All right, exhaling first. I use in and out through my mouth with this breath because I can take a volume and a deeper breath. If breathing in and out through your nose works for you, stay with that. You may find that midway through, you're going to want to breathe through your mouth. So just listen to that if that rings for you. Really, we're just taking a deep breath up from the bottom. It's almost like that same breath your doctor asks you to take when he says, breathe deep into the lungs, because he wants to hear what that sounds like. You're breathing deep. You're just kind of hyper focusing in on the fact that there are 3 breathing spaces and that there's energy there as well. Small tip, guys, if the energy piece of this is kind of creating difficulty or you're not really being able to focus, come back to it. Come back to it. Focus on the breathing spaces. Get your flow. As you practice this, then start to notice that there's this flow, that there's this energy, that it's more than just breathing in air. All right? Find relaxation in that exhale. Find that letting go. Awesome. Congratulations. Another day of breath work, another day of practice, another day of conscious breathing. Again, reach out, any questions, comments, or suggestions, and stay tuned tomorrow for day 9. Thanks again. Have a great day, guys.